let's look at the SWOT analysis. Because I'm seeing security people here. What is the situation in the Great Lakes region? One, close to 3 million refugees are in Uganda. That our intervention in South Sudan, our intervention in the DRC has uprooted close to or more than 3 million people. And they are in Uganda. The second one, we have genocide in Darfur. You can't tell how many millions are dead in Darfur. We have mass deaths in Sudan, both south and north. And then we have a genocide against Muslims in Central Africa. After the Serika rebels capture Central Africa were uprooted. We have mass killings in Tshekedi when RPA attacked Tshekedi. You have dead bodies floating on Lake Edward, so on Lake Victoria, but you don't have River Kagame connecting with Tshekedi. That is the truth Karegeya was talking about. That is the SWOT analysis. That you have millions of people, you have hundreds of thousands of people dying in Tshekedi, you have their dead bodies floating on Lake Victoria, but you have not interrogated how they landed in Lake Victoria and who drove them there or who escorted them there. And then the fundamental question is, how sure are you that you are not next? Now, so Mr. Karegeya is saying these issues are not for academic boardrooms, they are for intelligence. And in intelligence, there are two classes. There is the Simon Morongo group, which is compliant, and then there is the Romshana group that are rebels inside there. I.e., you see truth, don't raise it. Serve not the national interest, but the personal interest. Now, if you are looking at this problem in the Great Lakes region, you need to define who are or what are the cooperative forces. Both mobile cooperative forces and cooperative forces. And if you're interested in having literature on this, you go and read the RAND Cooperation documents. The RAND Cooperation is a consulting firm for USA on foreign policy, both cooperative and mobile forces. So you have Israel as a cooperative force, you have Jordan as a cooperative force, now you have Turkey recently, which has assisted in destroying Syria and expanding Russia from Syria, also as a cooperative force. Then the second one is the definition of the axis of evil. So you have Iran, Iraq, Syria, North Korea, Libya, Sudan. These are defined by evil. Who defines them as evil and therefore who defines them as righteous or holy? Because they are evil to USA and the empire of USA, but probably they are with some other party. How would you relate with this? Now, then you have the NRA, the SPLA, Ethiopia, and apartheid South Africa as cooperative forces against al-Bashir or the Sudan, what they call the Islamic fundamentalism. You need to study that. You study CIA operations and Mr. Museveni's operations against al-Turabi, Bashir, and Gaddafi. But in the question of Sudan, Gaddafi, Bashir agreed to dispose of al-Turabi. So why wasn't the problem solved? If the problem was Islamic fundamentalism, after eliminating al-Turabi, why did the USA continue to destroy Libya and to destroy South Sudan? Was it about inclusive politics? They accepted to allow Garanga as vice president of Sudan and the president of South Sudan, if you followed that agreement. Still, the problem was not solved. Therefore, this is evidence that the problem goes beyond your diplomacy. And then then you go to Nyerere, the question of the Banyamulenge you raised. Nyerere dealt with Che Guevara. Nyerere dealt with Joseph Kabila in destabilizing Congo during the time of Mobutu. You also need, so the question therefore of the instability in Congo begins as far as the era of Nyerere. And you remember during the time of Nyerere, Nyerere fought here, he fought Libya, and he also fought the Palestinians on Entebbe airport. Now, when you enter, read Museveni's speech in Harare on the Great Lakes region, he says, I advised Mr. Kagame to recruit a force of 1,000 Tutsi from Uvira and from Masisi. But Kagame, after consulting Nyerere, had recruited instead 2,500. In other words, 1,000 more. It is this force that was on standby to be unleashed on Mobutu in case Mobutu attacked Rwanda. Therefore, this means that the attack on Mobutu and Zaire was premeditated. It was not a reaction to any event.
Right,
what did the alliance between Savimbi, Mobutu, and South Africa imply? Now, then you have the Sahel states, and you have a lot of military technology proliferation in the Sahel states, which has now changed the military balance in the Greater Lakes region, because as we speak right now, insurgents have got modern weaponry, including drones. And we've discussed the Serika, we've discussed the genocide in Central Africa, interest yourself into it. Therefore, the problem is not ideological. The problem is not religious. The problem could be spiritual, but the problem is more in the demonic truth. And what is the demonic truth? It is what Trump said recently, that on how to share the minerals and the wealth of Ukraine. What you see them doing in Ukraine, the deal they are trying to arrive at, is the same thing you see in the Great Lakes region. We are dying for what we own underneath and which we actually don't know. I can challenge these policemen you see here and other security officers. None of you knows why the Chinese is at Katonga, here at Rukai. You may think it is rice. Where do you guard rice? With artillery. I thank you.
Thank you. This side, but the front one.